Finance New Orleans Programs Committee meeting roll call. Chair Andronika Morris.
Present.
Ms. Giselle Johnson-Banks. Mr. Steve Smith. Mr. Edgar Chase IV. We currently do not have a quorum.
So in the interest of sharing information, we will be moving forward with today's meeting. We have no action items to vote on, but we will go ahead and discuss the business that we have today. And we're broadcasting live right now on YouTube. So if there are any public comments, we will take those at the end. But this we won't be taking any formal action. This meeting is for information only. So let's move right into old business. Do we have an update on the SAC approval for Christopher Park?
Yes, so I followed up with our representative yesterday from Hanno, indicated that they will request the SAC request will be submitted in a few weeks once they receive all the final HUD environmental clearances. So that has not been received yet, and we will do weekly follow-ups with them to ensure we're up to date.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk about this again next month, I imagine. So let's go ahead and get into the programs committee, take on our new business and get into the programs report from December.
Okay, next page, thank you. So in December, not a lot of movement. So there was no movement within the Community Support Fund. There was no issuance of utility assistance. In regards to Own New Orleans, that has been decommissioned, so you will not see any up-to-date demographics for that will remain the same. In regards to the Green Mortgage Program, we did have one origination in December, and we did get confirmation that it closed on Tuesday. So that is a plus. That is also with a lender who historically has not done business with us. So it goes to show we're improving our lender agency relationships. And we did receive word today of another account that is scheduled for closing on January 31st. So we're hope to have at least two closing in January.
And so these loans are not the full green mortgage products, where they are traditional loans with the and explain it one more time. I believe y'all are doing a survey at the end with the homeowners to work with them to talk about how they could make their home energy efficient.
Correct. So these were two DPA only accounts. Mm-hmm. After they close, we will be contacting them to advise them of a home inspection of how energy improvements can improve their home. It'll also give them a physical document, a report for reference in the future.
Okay.
So those will be scheduled. The one has not been scheduled for the one that closed. We're working on that now, but the one that's closing on the 31st will be scheduled immediately after closing.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll continue with that process.
Great.
In regards to a sustainable developer pipeline.
And one question I thought we were going to talk about this with the green mortgage. Where are we with the full? And I want to figure out how to make this distinction. Where are we with the full deployment of the green mortgage product?
Actively working with communications team for our marketing plan. That is in motion. It will consist of videos, emails. We're pulling populations of existing homeowners from previous programs, in addition to new homeowners that have contacted us. In addition, we will be working with a full rollout with realtors again to roll out that program.
And so if we got referrals from, let's say, partner organizations, folks who knew people, we're ready to rock and roll to take those to take those folks and start assessing the properties and things like that.
100%. If there's any leads that are received, we're in full rollout mode where we can reach out to them and start the full process.
All right, that's great to hear.
Thank you. Majority of the conversation today, you could scroll through, the demographics have not changed from the previous month. And the last page of this will be the Excel spreadsheet for the active pipeline. Again, it is including the links so that you can click on there and reference any one of those intake forms as you see fit. Overall, we still have 18 active accounts. Actually, one of those has shifted to close. H3C did close in December. We do have 2 accounts anticipated to close in February, which is the Reveal and Christopher Park. 1 account anticipated to close in March is Grove Place. And so we will keep everyone informed as we go through the next stages of the process at each one of these sessions. 1 account, Our Lady of the Lords, was sent to underwriting this week, so that process would begin. And we do have 2 accounts that are under review now with our consultant, which is Ferret and Barone Villas. We have several accounts pending out there where we're required to send, or we are to the point where we'll be sending a full application. We'll be working on those next week. And we do have 7 accounts that are out with the developer having full applications, and we will be following up with them to get a date of anticipated requirements of documents so that we can move forward with those. Right now, our heavy focus is ensuring documentation is received and working on those pending closing pilots so we can get them to the finish line within the next 60 days. Depending on the outcome of underwriting and timing, preliminary approval and authorization of bonds will be scheduled for February meeting on Our Lady of the Lords. Same with Barone Villas. So depending on the outcome and turnaround ETA of underwriting, that will also go to Programs Committee for preliminary approval and authorization of bonds. So we have a lot of moving parts within this pipeline. We're really digging deep, focusing on moving these pending close to the finish line, and then digging deep on these pending applications to get them in so that we can move on forward with the process. Any questions?
So I had a couple questions, actually. I was pausing, waiting for someone else to ask, giving them a chance to ask any other questions. And so the timeline, just being mindful of the timeline. When can we expect to see? I know we've actually met with, and if I'm not mixing this up, the Ferret developers have actually been in front of this body before, as well as the Barone Villas, right? But are they? And I know it's on the form, but I can't see it on here. They have not gotten full board approval yet, correct? I know the program committee met with them and they got a presentation. So what's the timeline for them to come back to we'd like to see them at the programs committee before, and then they go to full board approval the following month. What's the timeline? Are you looking at bringing them back?
So for Barone Villas, we're missing just a few pieces of documentation, working with the developer on receipt of that. If all goes timely, that will be brought to Programs Committee in February.
Great. And then what about Ferret?
So for Ferret, that's a condo deal, if I remember correctly. And yep. There is some questions that we're working on ironing out with them. I'm sorry, I was reading my notes. There's some questions that we're working with them to get addressed to determine next steps. And as soon as we get those questions addressed, the hopes is that all of this will be done within the next week. So it'll make the deadlines for February also.
Gotcha. Okay. So we might see them both in February. That's great. That's tremendous. This is, the kind of pipeline that we wanted to see that's active. And obviously you guys have added a few new deals and things like that. Would love to spend some time, maybe not at the February meeting, but have some more robust conversation about the pending applications, things that are in the offing, so we can understand what's getting ready to come down, what we will be seeing. And these deals are all you're trying to standardize them as best you can, but they are complicated. And so I think as many times as this body can discuss them and hear about them, we can share that with the larger board. It gets everyone better acclimatized to responding to your needs, to the team's needs, and the needs of these deals.
And I agree. So moving forward, once we complete these summary intakes, the focus would be even discussions on new conversations we've had, even if it's a first conversation, and the ones that are either pending pre-app, pending full app, to go in a little bit more detail regarding those developments. So going forward, it will be a more in-depth conversation at every level of status within the process.
Fantastic. That makes sense. I don't have any other questions, so we can go ahead and move on. You move on to the next item on the agenda, unless you have something else, Kelly.
No, ma'am, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. I have something to add regarding.
Thank you, Damon. Good.
Yeah, regarding the Green Mortgage Program, Kelly talked about us being ready to roll out and some of the marketing strategy that we're putting together right now. So all those things are happening. And then alongside the marketing activities, we're going to pound the pavement as soon as we can get out into the street safely and everybody's a little more comfortable being around people. We're going to get out and start promoting the program like we had planned before the pandemic, meaning with our strategic partners, the real estate agents, the insurance agents, the contractors, all of the stakeholders that are necessary to make this program work. We're going to spend a lot of face time with those stakeholders alongside the marketing activity that you're going to see. So the expectation is that the activity in the Green Mortgage Program, at least the volume, is going to start to pick up because we're going to start to sound the horn a lot louder. We got our things together internally. We have our processes in place. We have the consultants that we need to make the program work. So we're ready to start talking about it and pushing more people toward the platform.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Obviously, the board can help us any way that we can. And obviously that's a different look for me with my other hats on. So yeah, we're going to be having some conversations. And Lenders Roundtable is standing back up, and we would love to, make sure that you guys that this work is featured there.
Okay, thank you. And that's all I have.
Okay. Well, do we have any public comments?
No public comments at this time.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Elizabeth, for that. If we don't have any public comments, so we're going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see everyone next week at the full board meeting.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.